Hey y'all, welcome back to my channel. It's Marissa Explains It All. So I am here showing you guys today how to make this super cute winter porch pot. That's what they're called on Google, but you've kind of seen them as Christmas planters or maybe other names. I love making these. They are so like festive and I love putting them on my porch and they last a while. I wanted to make one last year for my porch, but I waited too long. I waited until I think it was after Christmas, and I think I mentioned it in my winter porch makeover video, and I'll put the card up here. But I waited too long and there was no greenery left for my winter porch pot, so I was so sad. But now I am finally got my act together, on the ball in time. So I definitely suggest putting these together. If you're gonna do one of these, do them at the end of November or the beginning of December when all of the trees are out and the trimmings are available. I in fact had a hard time getting exactly the trimmings that I wanted because people are still buying trees and there are still trimmings, but they were out of some of the types that I want of greenery that I wanted. So anyway, just a note that if you plan to do this, I would say do it at the end of November or right at December 1st. That being said, let's jump into the video. There's interference on the playing field here. Sasha has decided to join me for our video. She apparently wants to be on video. She is up here all up in my space. All right, so back to the video. Let's talk materials. So the first thing you're going to need is a planter of some kind. And I love these urn-shaped planters. I think they're called urn planters or Grecian style planters. And they are just so pretty and elegant. I think they look really nice, but you can use any planter that you want. So this is probably where most of the cost is going to come in. I went to my local at-home store, home decor store, and I was finding that, these are kind of pricey. I did pick up this one and it's kind of I think a lighter weight plastic kind of fiberglass mix, and it was $80, I think. And so these are, kind of pricey. So if you have a planter that you like, go for it. I did look on Amazon to look and see if I could find some that were cheaper. And they have this shape in a cheaper, at a cheaper price, but not for the size. They were only maybe a foot to 18 inches big. So it would be really, really small. Whereas I think mine is a couple feet tall, so at least 2 feet. So I got a nice big one for what I was trying to do. But if you have a planter that you like, just feel free to use that, and you don't have to have this particular shape. But if you like the urn shape, hit up your local nursery or garden center and see what options they have there. Just be aware that they're a little bit pricier. But once you have it 1 year, you have it for remaining years. And so I just will end up using this planter, for years to come. I actually had a planter. I usually like to do these every year, every other year, but I gave mine away as a gift. So that's why I had to buy a new one. The next thing you'll need is a Christmas tree topper. And so they sell these mini Christmas trees at the tree lot, and they can be a little pricey again, depends on what your, lot sells them for. But if you can't find one or you don't want to pay for one, I think I paid about $45 for this one. If you don't want to pay that much, you can actually just buy a juniper tree or an arbor vitae or something that has that nice tapered shape at the top. Just something that kind of mimics that shape. Really any kind of plant that you like that kind of stands up tall and will work for this purpose. And so I have made it with juniper trees before. The next thing you'll need are some cuttings, some Christmas tree cuttings. And the good news is on this that these are usually free. So finally I got to the free part. So if you hit up your local Christmas lot or anywhere they cut Christmas trees, they usually trim the bottom branches off of your tree before they deliver it to you. And these cuttings are on the ground and they're free. So I'm just putting in some footage here of when I hit up my local nursery and I was able to find free cuttings that I was able to take. So I just grabbed a bunch of branches of both I think it was a Douglas fir and Fraser fir, and there is a difference between the two. So if you look at this video, you'll kind of see that the Douglas fir is a little bit softer and a little bit more floppy, and then the Fraser fir is kind of your traditional, really stiff kind of leaf. So just kind of be aware, you'll need different types. It always looks best when you have a lot of different types of greenery. And what I was missing this year is white pine. So if you can find white pine, that is ideal. That is the stuff that you see that kind of hangs over. It's very soft and bendy. And it just is nice and full, and it really helps make that just the folds over the sides, and that's really kind of what you want for the look. So I couldn't find it anywhere. I went to 3 different places and they just did not have it. But I'm hoping to make the Douglas fir work, just kind of, you know, get that like bend and flop to it. And of course you'll need topsoil. I didn't really mention that, but you'll want to put some topsoil in your planter with the Christmas tree. And then the last thing you'll need are your decorations, things that you like to put around there. And so I always buy pine cones and holly berries. And it's so funny because I bought these pine cones on sale at Michael's for $3.99 over Black Friday. And my husband was like, "Why are you buying pine cones, Marissa? They're in nature, they're free." I was like, I never thought like to just go outside and pick up some pine cones. So if you live in a place that has pine trees, these can be free for you. Otherwise, I picked up a bag from Michael's and they're cinnamon scented, and he was totally right. I don't know why I didn't I've never thought about it. Like, it did not dawn on me to like go outside and pick up what's in nature for free. I was like, no, I'm gonna buy them. So that's what you get for being a city girl, I guess. But so pine cones, however you acquire them, I like to stick those in there, and then holly berries as well. So I like to buy these little sprigs of holly berries. You can get these little picks from Michael's or around Christmas time, or you can actually buy like a rope, like a coil. And so I did buy like the coil of holly kind of berries. I'm just gonna like kind of peel off and pick them out and stick them in there. So that helps add a little pop of color to it. That's all the materials. So let's head outside and I'll show you guys how I put my winter porch pot together for this year. So first I started with filling my planter full of topsoil. I didn't fill it all the way, I just kind of filled it part way because I'm going to be just kind of putting the Christmas tree in the middle, and so I didn't need the full, you know, thing. So go ahead and pick up your tree here, and I just kind of dug myself a little hole. You might want to use gardening gloves for this. It is a manicure ruiner for sure. So go ahead and get yourself in there and just start kind of solidifying the tree, just pressing it down into the dirt and really shoving it down in there, and make sure it's nice and wedged in there. And then I kind of just piled up the dirt around the sides. And I didn't like this thing on top. It was just too tall, so I cut it off. So that worked for me. And then you can grab your trimmings. So I went ahead and grabbed my trimmings here and just kind of started sorting out between the different types of branches, between the Douglas and Fraser fir. And then there was some twine on mine from just when they marked it at the lot, so I cut those off. And you can get a nice little picture of my 8-month belly here, 8 months so long. So next you go ahead and start stuffing those trimmings in, and that's all that you have to do. They really stay pretty well. It just helps provide some fullness at the base of the planter. So it just kind of helps fill it out and give it that nice shape. So I just started stuffing them all in there and, you know, just making it look nice and full. And I was mostly focused on the front because the back of mine is really going to be in the corner of my porch, and so I didn't really care too much about that. So I started with the Fraser fir first, the stiffer, and then I went towards this Douglas fir, the kind of softer, floppier, and I just kind of bent it down a little bit, and I had a hard time, if it's too long, I kind of had a hard time bending it and twisting it off, so just grab some scissors and you should be able to cut through some of the smaller branches and just kind of start stuffing them down with the, you know, the branches kind of hanging down and draping over. And so here I am just kind of filling in some pieces, and do that all the way around basically. Just kind of start stuffing things, and then it's time for pine cones, and I used all of my bag. Again, I'm not really decorating the back of it as much because I knew that I was going to be in a corner, so I only really used one bag of pine cones just to put a few, you know, on top and in the front. So if you need to decorate the whole thing around, I would certainly buy another bag. And then here's my holly. I'm just kind of uncoiling it, and it is wired, and so I'm just kind of pulling off little sprigs here and placing them where I think they should go. And this is the final product. It looks so cute. I absolutely love how it looks. It is more simple, of course. It's not like as ornate as some of the other ones. I really just like to go with the holly and pine cones and the cuttings, but you certainly can add other things to it. Some people add sticks or ribbon or just other accents that you can find. So just put in whatever your heart's desire. And here it is on my porch. It looks so cute. It's actually quite large. It's somewhere around 4 feet tall, I think, with everything, but it looks really great with my little tiny porch winter setup. So that is everything. Hopefully you enjoyed the tutorial. Like I said, I love making these. I've always seen the pictures and I've never seen a tutorial of somebody actually showing me how to do one. And so I figured, you know, this would be helpful. I really wish I had that white pine or something else to kind of drape over, but you know, it turns out okay, and each one's a little bit unique, which I like. So that, of course, is now gracing my front porch, and hopefully, you know, you'll be able to follow along. Let me know if you have questions. I'm happy to help and answer anything I can. Otherwise, I will see you guys for the next video. Feel free to subscribe to the channel, and I'd love to have you. Love to see you next time. Bye, guys.